Adam, so let's talk about SEOJet for a while. So just to give everybody some context here, so Adam has sold this company. It's called SEOJet. So Adam, just can you just give us a sense of where the company was when you actually sold it in terms of revenue, in terms of customers?
Yeah. So with the website, just so you know, it solves the problem of doing link building the right way. Like people don't, especially with anchor text, like people didn't know like what anchor text should I be using in my backlinks so that I stay safe from Google penalties and it looks natural to Google and I rank better, right? So that was what the software did, is it solved that problem. It kind of gave you a roadmap of exactly which links to build to rank number one, right? Anyways, I don't remember exactly how many customers we had. I think it was in the 200 range, SEO agencies and SEO consultants using it when I sold it. The revenue, we had two ways of getting revenue, right? We had the subscription for the software, but then on the back end, we also had a link building, like people could buy guest posts on the back end of the software that I just marked that up and had three different companies fulfill that for us, right? So between the two of those, the revenue was pretty high, but what I did was I went to one of those three companies that was fulfilling the link building and said, "Hey, I'm going to sell this. Are you interested?" Because I knew it would be worth more to them than anyone else, because they could cut out the other two guys, take all the link orders, and dramatically increase their revenue. So that's what we did, and it worked out.
Okay, so let's try to deep dive into this a bit. So you had a subscription business going on, and then you had this you had tie up with a bunch of agencies who were basically solving your customers needs of sort of doing those building those backlinks manually and all of those things, and you ended up selling
Yeah.
it to one of those themselves. Is that it?
hmm Yeah.
And so what was your thought process then? Was this company always been built to sell, or it just happened and it made sense for you on that day? So what was the journey
Uh,
when you were sort of, what was your thought processes when you were sort of selling the company?
yeah. For me, I've actually sold 17 internet businesses in the last 15 years. So I don't
17.
like, yeah, 17. So I don't hold on to them very long. I like to sell. I'm always like, at some point I'm going to sell this, right? And that's always how I approach every business. Now it just depends on how long I hold it. Sometimes it's different, but with that one, I had it for 4 years, and that was the longest I've ever had any internet business. I got to a point where I was like, I'm kind of getting tired of running this. I want to move on to something else. Time to sell. But it was right when the business was kind of stagnating. There wasn't good growth. I was like, if I sell it right now, that'd be really stupid, because it's going to be worth the least amount that it will ever be if I sell it right now. All I have to do is just like hit it really hard and grow it a little bit, and I can get way more out of it. Right. At that time that I wanted to sell it when it wasn't doing great, I think they offered me about $500,000 for it. And I was like, nah, it's just not enough. Right. Cause I know I'm gonna have to build something else, and I need more of a buffer. So that's when I reached out to a mentor, a guy who I knew had been doing Facebook ads really successfully. And up until that time, I'd only been doing SEO. I hadn't started Facebook ads. And I reached out to him and said, "Hey, look, man, I need help. I know you know Facebook ads really well. Teach me how to do it." And so I paid him a large chunk of money. He teach me exactly how he was doing Facebook ads. I implemented all the things that he taught me. And like literally within 6 months, the business had doubled in size. I had really good growth, and it was much more appealing to a buyer, and I was able to sell it for, 7 figures. So it worked out really well.
All right. So my question here is, so when you were sort of looking to sell, when you felt that that it's the right time to sort of sell, so how do you find these potential buyers? I know in your case you had three of them right in front of you, but did you sort of put in any manual efforts to reach out to more folks who might value your business better? Or did you do anything else, or was it just, there was really no other option?
Yeah, I didn't. I had one guy actually reach out to me about buying it earlier, and I just didn't want, he wasn't a strategic partner. So I only reached out to these guys first because I knew that, because there was probably $500,000 to $600,000 worth of revenue happening on those link sales a year, right? So it was a significant amount, and they were only getting a third of it. You know what I mean? So knowing that they would then just have a huge jump in revenue because of it, that it would be more valuable to them, and they would offer me more. So I really wanted one of them to buy it because I'd get more out of it. Right. And so I never reached out to anybody else. If I was going to do it again and I didn't have a strategic partner like that, I would probably send a few cold emails to some VC firms or whatever, and or go to MicroAcquire, which is a good marketplace for SaaS sales.
Yeah. So let's talk about valuation here. So it looks like you had two different set of businesses there. One subscription business that's serving everyone where they're paying for your software, and those for those link building services. So it looks like your buyer was majorly interested in those link building services because there they could potentially triple their, incoming sort of leads, right? So
Yeah.
so how do you value a business like this, right? So you've got both this, product part as well, and then you also got the services layer as well, software as well as services layer. So how do you value something like this? Like, can you talk about the valuation when you were negotiating
Yeah.
deals?
I didn't like, I always knew that I was a solopreneur on that one. I didn't have any employees. I didn't have any co-founders. And I was like, I want to build a SaaS business that I do by myself and sell it for over $1 million. That was always the goal. And so to me, it was like, in terms of evaluation, I was like, would I be happy taking $1 million for this? Yeah, I probably, at this point I would. Right. And so that was literally how I did it. Like for them, but it doesn't matter how you value it, because frankly, it's what somebody's willing to pay for it. That's the only thing that matters. I think there was about $20,000 of MRR in terms of software subscription. And then, like I was saying, like several $100,000 worth of backlinks per year on the back end. Right. So however they got to that number based on those things, they were able to see that it was worth it to them. And, we got over the 7-figure mark, and it turned out to be a great deal for me.
So was there any formula that they used, or was it just, it made sense for you on that day? Okay, this looks like a nice number for me based on where I am. And was it just
No,
like
in
that?
fact, yeah, when we had some conversations where they were trying to offer less, and I'm like, and it was like literally, I'm just on the phone call with them going, look, guys, this thing is growing so fast now that it doesn't make any sense for you to sell it any less than this number. So if you can get me to this number, I'll sell it to you. If you can't, I'm just not going to do it.
But how do you come up with that number, right? And how do you convince that that's the right number? Because I guess that's the trickiest part, right?
There wasn't a good method to it. It was just literally like, I think I want to get at least 1.2 million. So let's ask for more than that.
Mhm.
And then hopefully we'll end up there. Right. Like that was kind of where my thought process was. And we even did better than that. But it was just like, okay, if I have to build a new business, what amount of money am I okay taking? Like that's really, that's the psychology for me, is what amount of money am I okay receiving? Because I'm going to have to build something else after this. Just making $1 million is not going to last that long. Right. I have a wife and 7 kids, that it's just like, it's not going to last forever. So I'd have to build something else. So at what point what's the number where I'm like, okay, this money will keep us comfortable while I build something new and launch it. And so I just came up with the number in my brain and said, this is what it is. If I got that amount, I'd be happy. And then because I had really, really strong growth for like 2 or 3 months in a row, they couldn't, like, that was the biggest selling factor, right? They're like, if we wait 3 more months, we're going to have to pay more money for this same business, right? Because it's growing so fast. So they wanted to get the deal done.
Right. Thanks for watching the B2B SaaS Podcast channel. I believe that the best way of building SaaS companies is by regularly talking to real founders who are out there building their companies. These founders have gained tons of insights during their journey, and I'm here to bring those to you. So if you want more such stuff, please make sure to subscribe to the channel here.